What up, Homedawgs? My name is Gokey Gamer, coach of the Milwaukee Medichams, and welcome everybody to week 4 of the UCDL, where this week you're going up against none other than the Nova Exploiter, coach of the Bermuda Kecleons. Here are the teams. Plop. Overall, this is a very, very scary team. Any team with Mew on it is really annoying, and I hate it. So, this team also has things like Petron, Alumamola, Tinkaton, Regieleki, like those so many scary mons, and I'm really terrified. Let's see what comes up here. It's going to be Hydreigon, Mew, Pecharunt, no Alumamola. I was kind of worried about that. We are not going to see Toucannon because I did prep my PALAFIN set to kind of 1v1 that. So that does kind of suck. Unsurprisingly, no Lando here, which is really good for Palmont. I think, let's see, no Alumamola. What else is not here? No Regieleki is interesting. Okay, probably purely because I had Gastrodon. So, this is a very interesting situation. I am pretty scared of an Ogerpon lead. That is a little terrifying. I do have Bramblegast in the back for it, though. Well, no, not even really. Yeah, this is an interesting situation. I don't want Ogerpon to immediately destroy my day. But then again, that's why I have Intimidate on Overwhelm. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to lead PALAFIN here. If they opt to lead Ogerpon, that's fine. I want to get my Zero Hero off as soon as possible. So Hydreigon is definitely scary. All these Pokemon are scary. I don't know what I'm saying. Mew is annoying, Tinkaton's annoying. Yeah, okay. I kind of wish I brought Rain now. I think now that Alumamola's not here, Rain would have gone absolutely insane. So it kind of sucks that we don't have Rain here, but it is what it is. I do still think my substitute bulk up PALAFIN set can definitely put in some work. So that is something that I'm going to be aware. Is Nova going to get his team in time? I don't think he did. I think he's just leading off with a random Mon. Well, that's interesting. I wish him luck then, and hopefully he gets a decent lead that he wants. Interesting. So, we're going to go ahead, start the game. Let's see what my opponent leads off with. It's going to be Tinkaton. So Tinkaton's the lead. That makes sense. Obviously, I'm switching out here. This is a Pokemon that I was like, I don't have a lot of switches for. I could go into Gastro, and I think Gastro is my ultimate best play. I don't think Tinkaton gets anything for this. So, as much as I don't want to lose Hazard, or as much as I don't want to lose Rocky Helmet right now, I think I kind of have to. The nice thing about this, the really nice thing about this, A, no air balloon, very interesting. B, there is no hazard removal. There is no hazard removal. So if I can get some spikes up and rocks here, that would be phenomenal. So I'm curious to see what they do here. They go for their own rocks. Okay. And I do have rocks, I do have Rapid Spin on Bramblegast, so that is something to keep in mind. And they don't have a way to stop Bramblegast Rapid Spin, so that is important to note. I'm going to set up my own rocks. Unless Mew has something, then it is what it is. We're going to see a knockoff here, that's fine. You're going to get some Rocky Helmet chip. We're going to set up our own rocks, which is really, really nice. Bada bing, bada boom. This also pretty much reveals we're not Sticky Hold, which tracks. We set up our own rocks here. That's really good for Ogerpon. Ogerpon is immensely damaged now at this point. We're going to see lefties. Okay, that's really good to know on this Pokemon. So I think you're going to switch here. That's my prediction, and I really want to predict that and go for an Ice Beam versus the Hydra. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and go for Ice Beam, predicting the Hydreigon swap. Because even if you stay in, ultimately I think it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Hydreigon? Does Hydreigon get defog? I don't think it does. We are going to see the swap. Let's see that Hydreigon switch in, my friend. Let's see that Hydreigon. Ghidorah, is that Hydreigon? Is that Hydreigon? It is Hydreigon! Oh yeah, baby! Oh yeah, let's go! Ice Beam this boy! Let's go! Woo! Love to see that, baby! Heck yeah! Gastrodon already put in work, we love to see it. I definitely want to keep Gastrodon healthy for both Tinkaton and Urshifu in the back, so I'm switching in Sylveon. Sylveon, this is the thing that Sylveon was here for. So, yeah, even if they go for, like, Flash Cannon here, we'll get intel on this set, which is really important to note. Flash Cannon never kills. In fact, it never does, well, I mean, with the hazards up, it will do over half. But, if it's not specs, it's literally easy monies. So, yeah, Hydra being this chipped is phenomenal. I am so glad I made that prediction. Let's go Gastrodon. We're gonna go into trans rights, hashtag trans rights, because, trans rights, yes. We're gonna see probably the Flash Cannon here, if I had to guess. Yep, we do see Flash Cannon. Let's see if this is specs or not. We're gonna see, that looks like specs to me, so I'm going to go ahead and go for a Protect. If you go into Pecharunt, that's fine. Yeah, that's absolutely specs damage. So I'm going to go for a Protect here just to get some HP recovery. And we're probably going to see the Pecharunt switch in. If we see the Pecharunt switch in, I immediately go into Overquill and set up a layer of spikes. And hopefully we can get at least 1 or 2 layers of spikes up against Pecharunt, because I do have the Clear Amulet. If you are cursed, that's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. We are going to see the swap, so we go for Protect. It's going to fail, ultimately. We'll reveal that we have it. We're going to see Tinkaton switch back in. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. We go for Protect, that fails. Ultimately, makes sense. We're gonna see Lefty's recovery as well. The really nice thing is Hydra can't keep switching at this point, so this is just really, really solid for me. I'm not even gonna lie. Alright, I'm immediately swapping back into Gastrodon. Gastrodon's always my check for this, and there's... yeah, that's fine. I also really highly doubt Nova's gonna want to switch back into Hydra after I've revealed Ice Beam here. I doubt he's gonna want to do that so freely. We could see a double here, which would make sense. We're just gonna see a Gigaton. Okay, we should be able to tank this really well. We do tank it insanely well. Holy. Okay, I could simply go for a Recover. I could also go for Nerf Power. Hydra could be the switch. I think I'm gonna go for Recover. I want to see what this thing wants to do to me. I want to see, we've seen Gigaton, we've seen Rocks. You have Knockoff. So you could be like Encore, you could be T-Wave, you could be a couple of other things, but now we know that this Pokemon essentially switches in for free against Tinkaton, which is phenomenal. They also just don't want, again, they're really heavily thinking about if they want to switch into Hydra or not, which makes a lot of sense. And now we know that Hydreigon is Choice Specs, so that is something that we do need to keep in mind. We are going to see the swap. Let's see if Hydra switches back in this time. It's going to be a different Pokemon. I think that's actually Ogerpon. That is going to be Ogerpon. Okay. You're taking a lot of damage from Rocks, though, which is phenomenal for me. Mold Breaker is fine. I could have gone for an Ice Beam there, and that could have done a lot of damage to this thing, but it is what it is. At the very least, we're at full HP, which is really, really solid. I'm immediately going to go into Overquill for free because I can and I want to. All right. I am Joe. Let's go. We're getting an Intimidate off, which is great. Pointed Stones dig in, but ultimately it's more annoying for Nova than it is for me. We're gonna see Spikes. So they're gonna set up a layer of Spikes. We're gonna set up a layer of Spikes here probably at this point. Yeah, I'm just gonna set... I did not mean to do that. That was stupid of me. Whoops. I meant to click Spikes there. I accidentally clicked Taunt. So that's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hopefully they switch it to Tink. Tink, well, nah, that is a bit unfortunate. I won't lie, that is a bit unfortunate there. Definitely a very rough misclick, but hopefully it pays off for me. That'd be pretty solid. We could see Ogerpon stay in, but I doubt it. I'm trying to think, is there anything that we would want taunted that could switch in here? Not really, except for Mew, maybe, but I doubt Mew switches in here. I think they're gonna stay. Okay, they do switch out. Do we see the Tinkaton switch? No, is this Pecha? Interesting. Okay, so Pecharunt switches in. Pecharunt is the check for this. So we go for a taunt. That was a misclick. I meant to go for Spikes here. I'm going to go for Spikes this time, though, because that is just what I do. You're going to go ahead and swap again for sure. But very interesting that Pecharunt is the swap for this. I guess they were predicting a Bar Barrage, so I guess that makes sense. Very curious to see what they want to do here. They're probably going to go back into Tink. They could also stay in, but I really doubt it. I don't think they're going to stay in versus an Overquill. Yeah, we're going to see a hard swap here. Probably into Tink is my guess. That would make the most sense to me. Not Tink. Interesting. I wonder why he's not switching in Tink here. He's going to switch into this thing. Very intriguing to me. We're going to set a layer of Spikes here. Bada bing, bada boom. So there's a few things that my opponent can do here. I think I'm going to switch into Gastro here because I want to see... Okay, you could have Trailblaze. You could definitely have Trailblaze here. I'm going to switch into Tumbler. I think you're going to probably Trailblaze predicting the switch into Gastrodon. That's my assumption anyways. We could see maybe an Ice Punch predicting this swap, and if we do, that's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're going to see a CC. That's the best read possible. So I'm immediately going to go ahead, and I think I'm just going to click Spin here. Yeah, there's no reason for me not to click Spin. Ice Punch will never kill, and we can get rid of our hazards, which is the hazards on our side of the field, which is going to be really, really nice for punishing Nova's entire team. So they were predicting the Gastrodon switch. Interesting that they didn't go for a Trailblaze, though. So that makes me wonder if they don't have Trailblaze. I imagine they probably have the Punching Glove for preventing Rocky Helmet Chip, but very interesting. They might not. They might be choiced. We are going to see them swap, so we're going to get a free Rapid Spin off on something. Let's see what switches in here. It's going to be the Hydreigon, actually. So Hydreigon switches back in. That's fine. Are you in range of a Power Whip? Probably not. Oh. Well, now you're in range of a Rapid Spin, so I'm just going to click Rapid Spin. Bramble, guys, let's go! Shadow Sneak. Okay, I think you have to stay in here at this point. I'm just going to click... I mean, you could switch into the Pecharunt, but even if you switch into Pecharunt, I have Overquill. I'm fine. This also prevents Hydreigon from switching back in again. So, yeah. Hydreigon goes down. Brambleghast gets a kill. Another crit? Brambleghast, calm down. Calm down, Brambleghast. Oh my gosh, you are out for blood, apparently. My goodness gracious. Okay, so Ogerpon's probably going to be the switch, just to scare this out, but obviously I can't stay in versus that. It could be Tink as well. Tink could definitely be the switch here. Even just to reset Rocks. I think that makes a lot of sense here. Palafin endgame looks phenomenal here. Alright, we're gonna see, yep, the Tinkaton switches back in. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So you're gonna take some Hazard Chip, which is really nice, really solid. I wonder if there's a way I can take advantage of this, because I think you're gonna set rocks back up here. I don't think so, unfortunately. I will just go ahead and go into Gastrodon. The really nice thing, though, is Earth Power is a free button click. I can just spam Earth Power now. Literally nothing wants to switch into an Earth Power. Nothing enjoys switching into an Earth Power. Like, even Mew is not going to enjoy the chip damage, so I'm honestly kind of chilling. Just Rocks is fine. I'm okay with Rocks going up here. I'm just going to go for a free Earth Power here. There's zero reason for me not to. Nothing on this team wants to take an Earth Power, so getting that Ice Beam read on Hydreigon early was absolutely amazing. So we're going to fire off an Earth Power here. Bada bing, bada boom. I believe I put I put some special attack investment into this Gastrodon, and I'm really glad I did now. I am so immensely glad that I did. And the more Nova switches, the more he's going to take chip damage on a whole bunch of different Pokemon, so I'm ultimately doing really, really well in this entire exchange. We are going to see the swap. I don't think Nova has a way to Wish Pass either, so this is honestly fine. We are going to see Ogerpon switch back in. So this is going to deal a lot of damage to this Ogerpon here. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going to fire off an Earth Power to deal a lot of damage. It's probably not going to kill, but we're at least going to deal a massive chunk of damage here. Boom. Beautiful. I'm just going to go into Overquill. There's zero reason for me not to at this point. Yep, we're going to go ahead and make the swap. They could go for a Swords Dance, but if they do, it's fine because you're only getting the +1 anyways. We are taking a bit more chip, but it's fine. Let's see what they want to do here. We are going to go ahead and see just a Horn Leech. Okay, that's fine. We're probably going to see a Ivy Cudgel here, which makes a lot of sense. I'm just going to go ahead and click the Crunch button because I can and I want to for free. We're going to see an Ivy Cudgel here. This shouldn't kill. Boom. Yep, it doesn't kill because Overquill is a beast. Ogerpon Hearthflame goes down. That is absolutely phenomenal for me. Alright, so 2 big threats out of the way. Mew is still the really annoying threat at this point, so that's a bit rough. We're going to see Tatsumaki, the Pokemon fan, that is going to be Mew. Mew is going to switch in here. It's going to take some Hazard Chip, which is good. Okay, I think I need to go into Sylveon here. The reason being is because that way I can yawn and do some shenanigans with that. I want to save Overquill purely for the Pecharunt. Transrites is going to be the swap, bada bing, bada boom. We're going to take some Hazard Chip, that's fine. We're going to see an Earth Power, so this is special. That's really good to know, actually, that this is a special set. So I'm going to go ahead and yawn here. There's zero reason for me not to. If you have Flash Cannon, you pick up the kill here, that's fine. I think you're probably going to switch, though. Now that you revealed that you're special, that's really, really important information to have. So, Palmot is definitely going to be my main way. Oh, Leaf Storm, interesting. Okay. Doesn't even kill. Oh my god, that is insane. Really cool tech, though, I must say. Alright, you're at, like, -2 now. I can just go for a Wish on a Pecharunt switch now. Definitely keeping Sylveon healthy is best case scenario. If they stay in, they obviously don't. That makes sense. They're going to go into Pecharunt here, probably, or they could go Tink. We're going to see Pecharunt here. So, hopefully, Pecharunt's going to take some damage here. We're going to see what type of set this is, and see if it's, like, Curse or something like that, or, like, trying to Parting Shot. We're going to Wish here. I'm every single time going to go for a Protect because there's zero reason for me not to. I need to keep Sylveon healthy at this point to check Mew. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a Protect. I could have also swapped into the Overquill, but that's fine. We're going to just see Malignant Chain. So they're just going for damage here. That makes a lot of sense. All right, we're going to go ahead, get this free recovery off, which is absolutely phenomenal for me. And now I need to figure out what I want to do next. I need to keep Sylveon alive. The question is, what do I switch in here? There's not much I want to switch into. I would have swapped into PALAFIN if I kept the Covert Cloak, but I didn't keep the Covert Cloak, so it'll be like that. I think I'll go ahead and swap into I Am Joe. As much as I don't really want to do this, I think this is still my best play, because eventually I think I'll still be able to Wish Pass. It depends how much damage this does to me. I don't think Pecharunt's going to do that much damage to me, though. I really don't. We could see a Parting Shot here. We're going to see it with just a Toxic. Okay, very glad I didn't go into anything else. I'm immediately going to set up a second layer of Spike. I'm really hoping to go for a Parting Shot here. That would be best case scenario. Nova, I dare you to go for a Parting Shot. Also, we outspeed. That's really good to know. We're just going to see Recover. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. We're just going to get our final layer of Hazard up, though, and we're going to be just peachy. Alright, beautiful. So we have Rocks and 3 layers of Spikes up on the field. Absolutely phenomenal. We're just going to see Malignant Chain. Okay, so they're just going to try to kill me. They almost do, actually, which is kind of crazy. I'm going to go for a Crunch now. You're probably Colberberry if I had to guess. You're not Colberberry. Interesting. Okay, very interesting. Do we get a defense drop for my troubles? Oh, you get a crit. That's pretty cool. We do get a defense drop for our troubles. That's pretty awesome. We'd love to see that. Okay, Rocky Helmet. Very interesting. Good to know. Alright, so we do get the defense drop, which is absolutely phenomenal. We're just going to see recover. That's fine. I think regardless, whatever you're going to do next, you're going to go for a toxic. That is my guess. So I think I'm actually going to go into I am here. I'm going to go into I am here, and I'm immediately going to set up a sub. I really like this play a lot, just because setting up a sub is very valuable here. And it helps prevent, like, malignant chain stuff. It helps, like, with toxic stuff. So I'm hoping they go for toxic here. We're going to set up a sub. Yep. Love to see that. Alright, let's see what they do here. We go for toxic. Beautiful. We're setting up a bulk up now. Alrighty-o, love to see it, baby. Immediately go for a bulk up. Alrighty-o, so we go for a bulk up here, bada bing, bada boom. I really wish I put a bit more into my HP now. Malignant Chain is like minimum roll, not going to break sub. So, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're gonna see a parting shot actually. That's probably best case scenario because we still keep our sub. So we're back at neutral, but we're at +1 defense. That's honestly, that's really good. I think that's a phenomenal trade-off for me. I'm not sure if Nova was expecting the bulk up play. I'm very curious to see what he wants to do now. I mean, I feel like the only play he can really do is go into Mew. Oh, it's actually going to be Urshifu. Okay, so Urshifu is going to be the swap. Is very intriguing. So you're not Spikes because you didn't switch. This just gives me a free bulk up here, so I'm very curious to see what my opponent wants to do now. We're gonna see a Thunder Punch. Okay, you outspeed me, so are you? You must be Scarf then. Very intriguing. Okay, so our substitute fades, so we're gonna get up to +2. How do you outspeed me? Are you like Adamant Scarf? Interesting. You must be Choice Scarf. I'm going to go ahead and actually go for another... I think I might go for a sub, actually. Or do I go for a bulk up here? I'm going to go for a bulk up. I'm going to go for a bulk up here. We're going to see another Thunder Punch. That's fine. Yeah, that does nothing. Okay, so we're at +3 and +2. I'm just going to set up another sub here, I think. Thunder Punch is a roll to break sub now at this point. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. We're going to see another Thunder Punch, that's fine. Okay, yep, we set up a sub for free. Let's go. Okay, if you're Jolly, this never breaks, but I have a feeling you're Adamant. But even if you are Adamant, there is still a chance that this doesn't break. I'm going to go for a Drain Punch to recover HP. We are going to see the swap, so I'm very curious to see if they go into Pecha here. They probably do. Yep, we see Pecha. Really well played there. The nice thing about this, though, I can just set up another bulk up. Or honestly, do I just go for a Jet Punch here? Do I go for 2 Jet Punches? I mean, it's going to chunk you. I think I'm going to go for a bulk. I think I'm going to go for another bulk up. Yeah, I'm going to go for another bulk up here. You still don't know if I have Wave Crash or not, which is important to know. So I'm going to try to keep that information from you as much as possible. You're letting me set up for free? Interesting. Out of curiosity, will a Wave Crash kill at this point? If I had it, it would be a roll. It would be a roll, and it would depend. Yeah, it would be a roll for him. So that's probably what he's calculating right now. He probably thinks I have Wave Crash. I'm going to bulk up again. This is greedy, but I already have a sub up. This is fine. All right, we're at max defense, +5 attack. We're gonna see Malignant Chain here, that's fine. Okay, this is a very interesting situation, I must say. So here's the thing, Malignant Chain will never break the sub. Well, Malignant Chain, I should say Malignant Chain will never, like, pop, you get it. This is a bit greedy, I'm gonna try to set up a sub. Because here's the thing, if Petrarot doesn't break the sub here, I just win the game. We're gonna see Malignant Chain, let's see if this breaks the sub. Will it break? Survey says it does break. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and go for a Jet Punch here. There is zero reason for me not to at this point. I'm at +5. It's doing a large chunk to this thing. I just wanted to see if he went for a Toxic or a Malignant Chain. It makes sense that he went for Malignant Chain, so I should have every single time gone for the Jet Punch there, because that tells him now that he should kill with a Malignant Chain here. He probably thinks that we have Wave Crash, though. We are going to go for the Jet Punch. We reveal it here. Boom. Does a decent chunk of damage. We are hurt by the Rocky Helmet, that's fine. We are going to see a Recover. Okay, that's fine. I did forget about Recover, so Recover is pretty spammable at this point. I'll bulk up one more time. I want to try to get him to waste his Recovers. Alright, we go for that. Yep. Alright, let's see what you want to do here. You just go click Recover again. So I believe he's halfway through his Recovers, if I'm correct. Here's the thing. Gastrodon can deal with a Fizz Bulk Petrarut. The only thing is getting Toxic, obviously. So I think I'm going to predict him going for a Recover again, and I'm going to click Sub. Just so that way I can try to see if he goes for another thing. He does just go for the kill. Okay. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So PALAFIN goes down here. That's fine. I immediately go into Gastrodon and I click Earth Power. Yes, this thing getting Toxic is annoying, but in Poison Puppeteer will obviously, of course, trigger. But this is fine. This Petrarut will take a crap ton of damage from this, as he will learn. Yep, you go for a Toxic. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Because even if we Poison Puppeteer, hit ourselves in Confusion, that's okay. We have ways to kind of work around this. Alright, Gastrodon. I believe in you, buddy. Let's go! Alright. That's my goat right there. That is my goat. And this Bedef drop. Okay. Let's freaking go Gastro. So I'm gonna double into trans right here because I can just do that for free. You're probably gonna parting shot here, but that's fine. You could just click recover, but that's fine if you do, low-key. Yeah, Petron is definitely a problem like I thought it would be, but the fact that the hazards are just chipping away at my opponent's entire team is absolutely phenomenal. And we've been getting a lot of really good reads, so this is absolutely massive for me. And now he knows that he can't stay in with this. It does seem like he's probably clicking parting shot, that's my guess, because of that Spadef drop. So I'm hoping he does, because that doesn't really punish me that much. We are going to see the parting shot. Perfect. Alright, we're probably going to see Hilda switch back in. If Hilda switches back in, I immediately go into Palmont. Reason being I go into Palmont, even if they click knock, I'm pretty sure Mew is not scarfed. Urshifu is scarfed, but I have Gastrodon for it. We are going to see the Tinkaton switch back in. That makes a lot of sense. And I feel like you're going to go for Gigaton here over something else. So I am just going to go ahead and click the Palmont switch. I could also be really annoying and click Protect here to get maximum recovery and see what you want to go for here. So I'm just going to go for Protect. I will be annoying. This man is Petron in the game. I'm going to be annoying myself. Petron might actually die to hazards, now that I think about it. I think Petron might low-key die to hazards. We are going to see the double, so they do double. Are they going to double back into the Petron? No, they're going to double to Mew. Mew is their switch here. It's very interesting. All right, so we see that. That's a lot of damage already. You could be Nasty Plot. I think Nasty Plot makes a lot of sense here. If you are, I'm still clicking Yawn here regardless. Because I now know that you are mainly Spadef. So we could see like a Flash Cannon here. I'm just going to go for a Yawn because I can and I want to. I'm really sorry, Nova. I know this is a really long game. I'm sorry. But also, you brought a Max Bulk Pecharunt with Toxic, Malignant Chain, Recover, and the other things. Volt Switch is very interesting. Okay, I like that. I like that. So Leaf Storm, what was it? Leaf Storm, Volt Switch. There was another move that you had, Thunderbolt? No, it wasn't Thunderbolt. It was something else. I don't remember what it was, but it's fine. We're gonna see Tinkaton come back in. So, this Tinkaton might be put back to sleep, honestly, which would be kind of crazy. Yo, this hazard chip is wild. Holy crap. So, they could go for a knock here. I think knock makes a lot of sense if they want to try to put this thing to sleep. They could also just say frick it and go for a Gigaton, which also makes a lot of sense. I think I'm going to go into Bingo. I'm going to go ahead and go into Bingo now. I think it's my best play, just because of the fact that, yeah. I wonder if Mew is AV. Mew, I'm willing to bet Mew is AV, because I think that's why that's the check for Sylveon, or that was the check for Sylveon here. So, it does look like they're going to stay in, so they're going to let Tinkaton go to sleep, which I think is their best play. We're going to go into I Am Bingo. I'm honestly hoping for a knock. That's what I'm hoping for here. We are going to see the Gigaton Hammer. Gigaton Hammer is also fine. I'm okay with that too. We're going to see lefties. That's fine. And you are put to sleep. I think Nova's going to save this purely because of the fact that Sylveon can't just click buttons here. I really want to click Double Shock. I think Double Shock is a very safe button click to make. Yes, it locks me into it, and then I'll be forced to swap, but that's fine. I think you're going to try to save this, purely because of Sleep Claws. I think that makes the most sense here, is because of Sleep Claws. No, you're just going to let it go down. Very interesting. So, Double Shock here, Tinkaton goes down, absolutely massive for me. Urshifu is probably going to be the swap, which makes sense. Yep, we use up all our electricity, which is fine. We could see Mew as the switch as well, if he thinks I'm Scarf. But if Mew switches in, I go back into Sylveon. This is just a very, very nice situation for me, I must say. We could see Pecharunt try to switch back in, too. I think Pecharunt switching in here makes a lot of sense. If you think I am Scarf. This is the main reason why I was hoping why I was low-key hoping to lose my Scarf here, because otherwise both Pecharunt and Mew switch in for free. If Urshifu switches in, I mean, honestly, yeah, there's nothing that really enjoys switching in here, but, like, thanks to the hazards, but we'll see. It's going to be this thing, so that's going to be the Urshifu. Urshifu makes a lot of sense here. So, I think Brambleghast at this point is the most sackable Pokemon, so I'm going to go ahead and let Brambleghast go down here. And if you're something like Ice Punch, that's even better. Nova's definitely thinking. He's probably trying to guess if I'm Scarf or not. And I am Scarf. I think his best play here is to just attack. He could be going for a U-turn as well, which makes a lot of sense. In which case, if he does U-turn, that's fine, because I do have Shadow Sneak on Brambleghast. So we're going to go ahead and swap out here. I'm really glad I packed the Shadow Sneak on Brambleghast now. We could even see an Ice Punch here. Ice Punch also makes a lot of sense. We could even see a Surging Strikes. That also makes a lot of sense. We are going to see a U-turn. Yep, okay, that's fine. So we're probably going to see, my guess is the Mew switch back in which case I just go for Shadow Sneak. Yep, we're going to see the Mew. That is fine by me. So you're going to take a lot of damage here. And actually, do you just die here? I think Brambleghast is actually going to pick up a lot of kills. Shadow Sneak. Is Brambleghast going to just win the game from here? I wonder. Mew is going to go down here. Yeah, I think Hazards and Shadow Sneak are going to win the game for us. So, I think we beat Nova 4-0, which is wild. We did get pretty lucky here, but I do also think that I played this extremely well. And I think, like, when I realized that Nova had no hazard removal, I think we just won from there. So we're going to see this thing switch back in, which is fine. Yup, you barely live, so this is another kill for Brambleghast. We go for Shadow Sneak here, bada bing, bada boom. Yup. And then Urshifu is the last Pokemon, but we do have Choice Scarf Palmont in the back. We are fine. Rocky Helmet makes a lot of sense. Rocky Helmet and Petrout was a really good bring, also, for the record. Rocky Helmet was a really excellent bring, and I should have brought protective pads for that, I think, or the power-up, the punching glove. Probably would have been better than the leftovers if I thought of that, but it is what it is. We're going to see them hurt by the spikes, unfortunate. And once again, unless they have Aqua Jet and they lock themselves into Aqua Jet here, in which case we just go Gastrodon and Gastrodon picks up a kill. Brambleghast just wins the game. I think that's 4 kills for Brambleghast, which is wild. I love this Pokemon. It's one of those Pokemon that is just like, it's not great in every situation, but in very specific situations with very specific builds, it can just really go nuts. GG's to my opponent. Really, really well played. Shoutouts to Gastrodon and Overflow for setting up hazards early, and shoutouts to Brambleghast for cleaning up the game. Shoutouts to Palmont for being choice specs. Shoutouts to PALAFIN for setting up the +6 and doing nothing. That is hysterical. Really well played to my opponent. His side of that will be linked down in the description below for those interested. His channel will also be linked down in the description below for those interested as well. I personally cannot wait to see how insane this battle is. I have to edit down a 40-minute battle. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be insane. But regardless, thank you all so much for watching. Very huge win for us. Absolutely massive win. I think Nova's undefeated at this point too, if I remember correctly. So we beat the undefeated team, which is really, really cool. I love it. Yeah, heck yeah, let's go. Once again, please be sure to check out my opponent down in the description below. Nova's an absolutely amazing person. He's actually the commissioner of the other league I'm taking part in right now, the NBBL. So definitely check that out as well if you have the chance. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace out, mates!